Hi guys, today we're working on the Dung Beetle, Agent's Dung Beetle, and we've switched the car over from its carburetor setup across to Haltech Elite 1500 EFI.
That's correct. So we were having a lot of problems when we first started the car. For one, it was running extremely rich. It was hard to start. You know, being that it's an air-cooled engine, it's also air-warm. So it was taking a long time to get the drivability up. And so, you know, and we were happy with that. You know, a lot of these cars, when you go to a modified turbo setup, you have to do carburation. It's just really the only route to take unless you're versed in fuel injection, unless you were born into the knowledge of fuel injection.
Exactly, and I guess the senior guys have been here for so long, he's always running carbureted cars, like nitrous carburetor. You would be one of the first guys to run across to a turbo setup over here, except for I guess Big Chief and also Sean as well.
That's correct, that's correct. And to be able to adopt that technology is only going to improve. You know, it's held a lot of the guys back, and a lot of the guys are veering from it just because they're scared of it. They're scared of the technology, and I understand why. But you guys have made it so simple. The interface on the software, obviously the installation takes a little bit longer than just throwing a carburetor on, but it's well worth it in the future. You can be able to data log. That's a big deal as far as knowing what my past looked like. I don't know what it looked like. I was behind the driver's seat. So one thing that we wanted to benefit from is the capability to convert it to E85. C16 is very expensive. It's a very safe, friendly fuel, and you know we definitely want to run the best fuel that we can. But given the configuration that we're running here with the bug being air cooled, we need a cool as a charge as possible. We need that engine to stay cool when we want it to.
And running that ethanol blend definitely does contribute to bringing down intake temperatures as well. Being air cooled again, we really want to make sure that we can look after and control temperatures in the engine. What we're also using in this car is a cylinder head temperature sensor as well, which will also allow for easier cold start, and when it's warm, it will also help cold start as well, hot start in that instance.
You know, and another thing I like that about what you guys offer is I can run a MagnaFuel Pro Tuner, 625, and it's no problem. You can adopt other parts from different sources, and it doesn't matter. The Haltech system doesn't care. It's an elite system. Is that correct?
Exactly. The Elite 1500, which is set up for a full-cylinder vehicle such as yours.
Okay. One of the things that you wanted to add to this was an O2 sensor. It's never had that. I've never had that. Usually we threw one on the dyno.
Yeah, for sure.
But in this case, you wanted a permanent one on.
Yeah, so the way we run it on the Elite, it actually runs short-term fuel learning and also long-term learning as well. So what that basically means is when we actually set the car up, at different load points and RPM, it will change what our target AFRs are. So what this will do is while we're driving the car, it will make any adjustments to our fuel table that are needed to stay on target. And it will also build a long-term table in the background as well. So after, say we do a few passes, do a little bit of street driving, we'll then apply that long-term table into our current fuel map.
Huh. No, that's extremely important to me because I mean I need to be able to compare things from a year ago to what we're doing now, and then what we're doing now to a year later. And you're saying that will pretty much that is the system senses. That is how it's uploading all of that information.
Yeah, look, that's how we're getting the live data through, so the computer knows exactly what to do and exactly when to be throwing fuel in the car essentially.
Okay. And excuse me being naive because I know nothing about this. I'm a student.
That's all right.
And then one thing we also had to change is because we're going from carburation to fuel injection. You wanted to use a 4-barrel throttle body. We were able to pick this one up from Metalbrock. It's 1,000 CFM. You say that you can use just about any throttle body you want.
Any throttle body really, and this one's great because we also have a built-in idle motor as well and TPS too. So it's pretty much all birds with one stone.
Okay.
It's made life fairly easy for us. We've also changed this engine across. What the computer now needs is also two reference signals. One is to know when the engine's at top dead center, and the second one is to know the engine speed. So we've actually gone for the CB Performance crank trigging kit and the cam sync kit as well, which will give the computer everything it needs to know to fire when it needs to.
And the crank trigger doesn't necessarily add any horsepower per se, but it allows you to be able to tune the vehicle and know that your measurements are accurate.
Yeah, look, essentially it just lets the ECU know exactly how fast the engine's running and just give you a reference point there.
Okay, and another big thing that we have changed is that with the carburation, the fuel was dumping basically into this aluminum manifold here. and it was pooling, it was puddling, and it was requiring the turbo to suck that pool in there and then atomize it. And what you guys have done is actually completely relocated the injectors and then installed them into the lower manifolds here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I couldn't imagine what that would have been doing for your turbo running straight petrol through, but you know, so far so good. But what we've changed now, we've actually got port injection, so we can actually set those injectors up so they'll be firing through on open valves, and you've got fairly large cams in this car as well, so there would have been a lot of overlap with just throwing burn fuel straight out. So you'll also see a benefit in fuel economy as well as drivability out of it.
Okay, well, I'm going to let these guys finish up, man. And then once they button it all up, we'll do a first time fire up. Maybe we can go for a little bit of a shakedown, and then we'll throw it on the dyno.
Let's go do some skids.
Awesome.